Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here today because I'm diving into a topic every beginner and every many intermediate fashion designers struggle with: how to learn different stitches and when to use them. Have you ever finished a garment only to find the seams pumped open? Or maybe you used a stitch that looked messy or didn't suit the fabric? You are not alone. Today, I will be going step by step through the most common hand stitches and machine stitches, when to use them, how to make them look neat, and some bonus pro tips. By the end of this video, you'll feel confident choosing the right stitch for any fabric and project. So grab your notebook, or better yet, grab some scrap fabric and needle so you can practice along with me. So let's get started. First, what exactly is a stitch? A stitch is simply how thread loops through fabric to hold it together. But not all stitches serve the same purpose. Some are meant for strength, some for flexibility, and others are purely for decorative purposes. There are two major categories of stitches: the hand stitches done with needle and thread manually, the machine stitches done on a sewing machine with more precision and speed. And within those, you have functional stitches, finishing stitches, and decorative stitches. The key is knowing which to use and when to use them. Your results depend not just on the stitch, but also on thread quality and needle size. If your stitches look loose or break, it is often because of mismatched thread, wrong needle size, or incorrect tension. We'll talk about fixing that later. Now let's look at hand stitches, because even if you have a machine, there are times you will need this. Essential hand stitches. Let's start with 5 essential hand stitches. I recommend practicing each on a scrap fabric before trying it on real garments. Running stitch or basic stitch. What is it? The most basic hand stitch, a simple in and out motion. When to use it? You use it using temporary seams, basting, gathering fabric, or sewing lightweight projects. How to do it? You thread your needle, not the end, and push the needle through the fabric, move in and out evenly, keeping stitch length consistently. About 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch is standard for light fabric. The smaller and even your stitches are, the neater it looks. For gathering, leave long stitches and pull the thread to bunch fabric. The second type of hand stitch is backstitch or strong hand stitch. What it is? It creates a continuous line of strong stitches. When to use backstitch? Seams that need durability when you don't have a machine or are doing a repair. How to do a backstitch? Start with a small stitch forward, then go back 1 stitch length and come out ahead of where you started. Keep overlapping slightly. This is the hand version of a machine straight stitch and is very strong if done neatly. Slip stitch or ladder stitch, also known as invisible stitch. Invisible seam often used to close openings. When to use it? You use it for hemming of garments invisibly, closing a pillow after stuffing, or fine tailoring. How to do it? You take tiny horizontal stitches inside the fold of each edge. When you pull the thread, it disappears inside the seam. Use machine thread and fine needle for invisibility. Whip stitch or overcast stitch. Wrap thread over the raw edge of the fabric. When to use it? To finish edges by hand if you don't have a machine. Also used to join felt in crafts. This is how to do it. You come up through fabric, then loop over the edge at a diagonal angle, spacing evenly. Zigzag stitch. Use it. Finishing raw edges, sewing stretchy fabrics. Adjust width and length based on fabric. Wider zigzag prevents fraying. Narrower works for stretch seams. Now let's move on to machine stitches, which are faster and more consistent. Straight stitch is mostly used for seams on woven fabrics. It is used for regular seams, shorter for extra length, longer for basting. Always backstitch at the start and end to lock stitches. Zigzag stitch. Use it. Finishing raw edges, sewing stretchy fabrics. Adjust width and length based on fabric. Wider zigzag prevents fraying. Narrower works for stretch seams. Stretch or lightning bolt stitch. Uses for neat and stretchy garments that need flexibility. Pair with a ballpoint needle for best results. Overlock or saga stitches. It is used for professional edge finishing, Practice tension settings for neat loops. Buttonhole stitch. It is used for creating neat buttonholes on shirts or garments. Use interfacing for stability. Now you know the stitches, but which one suits your project? For cutting shirts and straight stitch, you need zigzag edge. For knitted dress, you need stretch stitch. For delicate chiffon, you need fresh seams or narrow zigzag. For denim jean, you need heavy straight stitch with thick thread. Troubleshooting and beginner mistakes, how to fix them. When your stitches are loose or too tight, you adjust the tension. Puckering and use correct stitch. For puckering, use correct stitch length and presser foot pressure. When your thread breaks, rethread and check your needle. Skip stitches, change your needle or your thread. Make a stitch sampler. Take one piece of fabric, sew all stitches with labels. It becomes your reference. Remember that no one starts perfect. Even professionals practice these basics. Keep your early samples. You'll be amazed at your progress. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like, subscribe to this channel, and comment which stitch you practicing first. Share this with your fellow creatives and turn on notification if you don't want to miss our next video.